Now.
On 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app.
O'Connor and Company.
It's 7:06 on Wednesday morning. Thanks for tuning in to O'Connor and Company. We've got a great show today. At 8:05, Lieutenant Colonel Tony Schaefer. He's going to update us on those mysterious drones, which sadly remain a mystery. I'm Julie Gunlock, sitting in for Larry O'Connor for one more day. He is back tomorrow. And I'm alongside Hans von Spakovsky. Good morning, Hans.
Well, as soon as Larry comes back, then I go on vacation.
That's right. That's right. Joining us now is Daily Mail reporter Charlie Spiering. Good morning, Charlie.
Good morning, Julie. How are you?
I'm doing great and happy Merry Christmas. We're not supposed to say happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Charlie, it looks like, is Kamala Harris staging a comeback?
Well, she's been kind of teasing this idea in her holiday parties. For anyone who's been to one of these Christmas parties that the vice president holds, she's kind of been teasing this idea where she's like, rest up, reboot during the holidays, and come back ready to fight. And that was finally confirmed when she came out and delivered a public message to young leaders, very emphatic message that she's definitely looking for a comeback, another reboot, and she's 100% ready to keep on fighting.
Well, you know, I found it amusing as she's saying, we need to count our blessings, you know, at the DNC Christmas party. Oh, I'm sure they don't call it a Christmas party,
No,
right? It
of
has to be a
course not.
holiday party. She said, we need to count our blessings and come back ready to fight. That's going to be a little bit difficult for the massive layoffs the DNC had. All these people who were let go with no severance packages. I doubt they're counting their blessings or are ready to come back and fight since they all lost their jobs.
That's such a great point, Hans. Democrats are really demoralized right now. The last thing that many of them want to see is Kamala Harris coming back and reminding them why she lost in the first place. The remarks yesterday were a little bit out of touch. Sounded like she'd been speaking with her own personal cheerleaders and actual Democratic voters. And lo and behold, it's not a surprise that there's consultants out there many of whom have already benefited from her campaign before, already saying, you can do it again. Just give us the money and we'll make it happen.
We're talking to Charlie Spiering, he's political reporter at the Daily Mail and the author of, he's so perfect for this. He's the author of Amateur Hour, Kamala Harris in the White House. Thank goodness she is not in the White House come next month. Let's listen to a few things she said yesterday. One thing is for sure, she hasn't learned to stop the word salad. Michael, cut 10.
And I ask you to remember the context in which you exist. Yeah, I did that.
So weird. I wish you could see it because the cackling and the amount of laughter. First of all, that wasn't that funny. I don't know. But I think what she was signaling there when she said, you know, remember the context in which you exist. It's one of these Kamala-isms that makes no sense. And then she sort of, I don't know, was sort of winking at the idea of being made fun of for that by saying, yeah, I did that. And then again, the cackle. Was she sort of referencing the fact that people make fun of her for saying those silly things?
Exactly, Julie. This is Kamala really trying to embrace the awkward and weirdness of and really sort of try to relive her previous campaign. When she first announced for president, the famous coconut speech, where she talks about her mother saying, well, you know, where do you think young people came from? You think you fell out of a coconut tree? You need to exist in the context. That was a fun little bit that a group of paid memers tried to turn into, you know, a widespread fun meme about the real Kamala Harris, someone who's sort of fun but a little bit awkward. But by trying to relive that moment, and at the same time, you know, specifically telling the audience, yeah, I did that. The audience didn't quite get it at first, and for them to have
Yeah, there was.
Kamala was forced to sort of make it happen.
Yeah.
Just really made it awkward and weird. And once again, drops the famous laugh that she drops anytime she feels awkward or confused. She just starts laughing and hoping that it'll smooth things over. Didn't go well for her.
Charlie, am I the only person who thinks that Kamala Harris has an odd resemblance to the character that Peter Sellers played in that movie called Being There? You know, about the really, really dumb guy who just keeps rising because everybody thinks he's so smart. I mean,
you're doing great with the movie references this morning, by the way.
But let me ask a serious question about her. There's talk that she may try to go back to California. Gavin Newsom obviously is preparing he wants to run for president. So there's speculation that she'll go back and try to run for governor. They think she has a better chance of winning there since she won the attorney general's race. Is that serious, or is that just typical Washington speculation that you get after an election?
Well, when you talk to Democrats about that, you can definitely sort of separate them into two camps. There's people who definitely want her to run because they want her to go away. And then there's people who don't want her to run because they want her to be president. And that's where I think it is. I think anyone talking about California is not coming from Kamala's team. That's from Democrats who are like, please go away and run for governor of California. And but you talk to Democrats in Washington, they absolutely think she's the front runner for 2028 right now. She has the highest name ID. She has great support with women of color who are a significant part of their primary base. And now they've switched the primary to South Carolina. They think she has a real shot at getting another shot at the
president.
Are
you kidding? You know, it's so interesting, Charlie.
Astonishing.
What in the world? I mean, the idea that they think. I'm so stunned by what you just said, especially in light of, people like Lindy Lee, a Democrat sort of powerhouse fundraiser. She has been doing this sort of talking tour, saying that the Harris campaign was dishonest with people who funded that campaign. I mean, the criticism is coming from all sides, not just political and policy and sort of personality, but also from the fundraising side. How do people really think people would, the wealthy would give to this campaign again after what they did, wasting all that money?
Well, that's such a great point, Julie, because it's ultimately up to the donors, the billionaire donors. Are they going to fall in love with Kamala again? Do they think that she has another shot? And based on comments that you hear from Lindy and others are, no, she had her shot and she wasted all of our money. We're not going to invest in that again. So I think that's one of her biggest hurdles right now. Yeah.
Charlie,
go ahead.
No, Charlie, we have to keep it there. But I just want to remind everyone, Charlie is the author of Amateur Hour, Kamala Harris in the White House. It is Christmas, and that would make a great Christmas gift, right, Hans?
It certainly would.
Charlie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much, Julie and Hans. Have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.